Hello, welcome to Commander Wheelhouse. This is a thing I've wanted to do for a while for myself. Uh, Really, the plan here is to obviously spin a wheel and just kind of build a deck after whoever it lands on. Uh, Hopefully that goes good. If not, it'd be like that. So I'll spin the wheel, we'll look up the commander, and I'll build the deck, and then you'll see it afterwards, and we'll go over all what the deck is supposed to do. So shit, let's get this started. I am unbelievably scared of who it's gonna land on. Uh, One of the new Doctor Who commanders. I believe he is. I don't think he's the face commander of the deck, though. Okay, cool. We have Commander Highlight copied and pasted for some reason. Love that. Uh, yeah, it does look like it's the Rakdos guy. Okay. Affinity for. Okay, I call him Derek's. Affinity for Derek's. Other ones have haste at the beginning of combat on your turn. Each faces a villainous choice. That player sacrifices a creature, or I create a 3/3 with Menace. Okay. I can work with this. So I suppose this is where it gets paused and I start building. Okay. So this is my second time recording this. I accidentally was going through everything. I didn't realize I paused twice. Love that. You might be asking, what are you showing this on? It looks so professional. Google Slides because I'm poor. We got some combat value for Dalek Emperor, or Dalek Emperor, as I will be calling him for the rest of this video. Uh, Big thing with him is you want to get his triggers. He makes them Daleks, he gives them haste, and he has a combat trigger. Awesome. Love that. It'd be great if we could get multiple per turn. That's why we have Seize the Day, World at War, Hex Plate. Getting these in and maybe dealing damage or just casting them with being Seize the Day and World at War, just casting these, you're getting extra. In theory, you can cast Seize the Day twice a turn if you have enough mana to do that flashback. You're getting a lot of triggers on that. Also add the resonator. You're dealing even more damage. Or you're not doing damage. You're making derricks. You're making more derricks. You have Reaver Cleaver, and you're making a lot of treasures, making that mana. You have Helm of the Host. If you can make a bunch of derricks, you can just start having people sacrifice their whole board. They'll see that you have a board state out of control because of his ability, forcing them to sack a creature or making another Derek. He's just going to go crazy if you have multiple combats or you have multiple of him. It's he is a surprisingly good card that he doesn't have enough decks on EDH Rec. I think he is an amazing commander. I think a lot of the Doctor Who commanders are really good. Yeah, they might be niche or they might be overlapping with other commanders of the sort. But like with him, he kind of wants a tribal, even though there aren't a lot of Dalek tribal cards. He kind of wants you to go tribal or to go multiple combats, which is where we're kind of leaning with this, or multiple of him, with Helm of the Host, because that's just beginning of combat. I believe you'll probably only get one of their combat triggers unless you stack it differently, which I'm not 100% on, so don't quote me on this at all. I'm not the best player ever. I just like making decks because I get bored a lot. But even so, if you have Helm of the Host on him, go to your first combat. Maybe you don't want to do anything. Maybe you're not swinging in, not doing any of that. You just get two Dalek Emperors, and you either force everyone to sacrifice a creature or you make some Daleks. Oh, surprise! We have Seize the Day. We'll throw it out there. Guess what? Now you have another Helm of the Host trigger, getting up to 3 Emperors, and then you have 2 other Emperor triggers. You have making everyone sacrifice maybe 2 creatures or each, or maybe making what, six just normal Daleks. Guess what? Now you can swing in with those Daleks because they all have haste. Oh, hey, I have enough mana to do a flashback. Love of God, you're making you get a lot of value for not doing a lot. And in the deck, in the description, I don't have any of the tutor cards. My group, we talked recently, and we're gonna try and lesson on tutors. But you can easily put tutors in here. You vamp tutor, demonic tutor, all that with just this little black pip. That's enough about the combat value, though. We got a little bit of that draw. We got Faithless Looting, a beautiful card that's in how many decks? Just because it's a one mana draw, then discard. Hell, you could discard Seize the Day with that, and then cast it with cheaper. Sure, you only get one, but still, it's cheaper. Imposing Grandeur, you can do the same thing, but you get, what is it? 7 cards with that. That's a whole new hand. That's pretty damn good. And then amazing card, an amazing black enchantment for tribal decks or just black decks in general. Black Mark Connections. Sure, you're going to be losing life, but you're going to be making a treasure token, drawing a card, and making another Dalek shapeshifter, essentially. And you can kind of offset this life loss by slapping a lifelink enchantment, or a lifelink enchantment, a artifact, equipment, all that kind of stuff. You can easily get life back with these colors, mostly black or just colorless for the artifacts. But it's not a lot of draw, and once again, there you can obviously switch stuff out. This is just what I'm going with because I want to focus more on the combat aspect of it. But yeah, you need to draw into that combat. But with how much combat things I have in the deck, I think I would hit it most of the time. Other than that, we have some burn. He's of course going to be making Derek's. Okay, cool. Love that. My headset just turned off. Not died. It just turned off by itself for some reason. Love that. Find that really fun and pretty. But then we got the burn from his combat triggers. Making maybe 3, maybe 6, maybe 9, however many dares you're going to be making. You're going to be dealing damage with these cards with each one. You have impact tremors, a card that is used in a lot of like token making decks. And let's say everyone chooses not to sack a creature. Boom, 3 damage to each. You get Reckless Fireweaver in there. Boom, 6 damage to each. Oh my god, Mirkwood Bats? How much damage? 9 damage just from one round of his combat ability. It's and then you start adding the idea of adding multiple Derek's through Helm of the Host, Sonic Resonator, whatever. Because with Sonic Resonator, you can also choose Helm of the Host to target with that ability. And you can get 2 Derek's per Helm of the Host. You can get multiple Derek triggers from Sonic Resonator or whatever. It's a Resonator, one of them. It's a really good idea to focus on what your commander does in 2 ways: what triggers it and what it does. And yeah, I mean, you could add Turgrid or Tigrid or however you say her name from Kaldheim in here to get a little bit of that love for the sack. I don't really care about it. I don't, with the people I play with. I doubt they would be sacking unless they're using a tribal deck. Which even then, are they going to be able to sack enough for how many Derek's I have? Probably not. Oh, I got click. Oopsie daisy. Where's my mouse? There it is. We do need an end game though. We've shown a lot of that burn. We've shown we need combos. Most decks have combos nowadays. Almost every deck has a combo of sorts. So we got exterminate one. We got Reaver Cleaver, Helm of the Host. We got which, I mean, Reaver Cleaver should be next to Aggravated Assault just because obviously that's kind of their big thing. They're teaming up to make a lot of treasure to activate Aggravated Assault. You know, or even just like that Impact Tremor and Reckless Fireweaver, like I was saying, making how many Derricks going infinite with combats, you're just going to be doing a lot. And I mean, your opponents might somehow disrupt this. Let's be honest. Someone's going to have a removal spell. Someone's going to have a way to get rid of your hand or get rid of the cards, whether it be a targeted removal or just a mass board wipe. So you gotta have a backup. And this is a combo that is, to my knowledge, very well known with Loyal Apprentice and Breath of Fury. It kind of just goes infinite. You kind of just know what it does because you're making a Thopter, you're making a single Thopter every combat with flying, and it has haste until end of turn, and this just wants combat damage based on it. If none of your opponents have flying, you can just keep pinging them for one, going into a new combat. Guess what? You're making some Derricks. Maybe you're pinging them for more. It he the Dalek Emperor. I said this before, and I genuinely mean it. Is a really good commander, and I think people are focusing too much when they see him on the part where he has affinity for Daleks. Yeah, that's a big thing. It makes him cheaper, but it doesn't kill the vibe of what he does. He still can get in there and deal a lot of damage. And he can win games. I genuinely believe that when I say it. He can get in there and kill your opponents fast. He isn't going to be any CEDH commander or anything like that. But if you roll up to your command night and you pull him out, it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a fun game. Your opponents won't be expecting it. Like I was saying, there are 18 decks with him? If we go look, I think there were 18 decks with him. EDH Rec. Dalek Emperor. Yeah, 18 decks. That is way too low for him. And you see all these high synergy cards with him and all of that. He has so much that he can do. And people just it might be fatigue, I won't lie. It might be product fatigue, but people that are into building decks like me, or people that just are really into Commander or really into Doctor Who, putting him as a commander that isn't going to do anything, or a low rank commander from the set, I think is a mistake. What I kind of want to see what Kyle says. I don't know who he is. Card, yeah. I mean, I'm guessing this is. I like this one. I think. I think putting him at under is. It's not a tough build around. And I think it's a mistake to just to look at him and just be like, he isn't going to do anything and he isn't good. I think it's a mistake. I think he can be a fun commander that focuses on going into multiple combats, getting multiple triggers off of his ability, and just ignoring the affinity for Daleks. Yeah, it's going to help you eventually when you have a shit ton of them. But getting them out fast through throwing out Soul Ring and all those extra artifact ramps is going to be key. But yeah, I think this is a good ending to the video, ranting for a good minute or two about the Dalek Emperor and what people see him as. But let me know what you think down in the comments. If you like this series, we'll keep going, and as it goes, we'll be adding more commanders to the wheel, taking some out. And I hope you like the video. Thank you.